What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Box Score, the NBA or the Box Out Boys recap episode. Whoo, late night for us, but we have a NBA champion, the Denver Nuggets, baby. Eat Nuggets. Uh, what a sloppy game. Wild start. Miami looked sharp, ready to go in the beginning. Denver makes a furious comeback. Looks like they might blow this thing out, and then it was just a back and forth event pretty much the whole way through. Lots of missed shots. Boys, let's get it started. Let's go with you, Chris. What are you thinking, man? What was your reaction to this game? What are your thoughts?
I'm shocked that I'm shocked. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked in a few different ways. And the fact that this was a pig fight, it was a mud bath, and Denver still came out on top. They lost the turnover battle for the second time this series, and they still came out on top. Jimmy Butler took the ugliest 3-pointer I've ever seen in a desperate kind of moment where he still had a lot of time, and I was shocked by that. Bam Adebayo was 18 points and 9 rebounds in the first half, finished with 20 and 12. Shocked by that. Max Strus looked bad. Not really that shocked by that, but I really thought Miami was going to win this game, even though because we were talking in the beginning, I was like, "Oh, Denver's got it," and then Miami came back. They won the first quarter, and they felt in control for a while, and they just let it go away.
They did. Joe, you got the Rockies hat on there. I see, looking sharp.
I do.
Repping Denver. What were your thoughts on this game, and what did you think? Was the key maybe?
Yeah, Jeff Van Gundy said it like 17 times, I think, in the fourth quarter that they were just the Heat were relying on the role players to do too much. He said it a lot, and it was pretty accurate because I messaged the group and said, "Hey, is Jimmy going to shoot the ball here?" I wish I would have kept count the amount of times that he drove into the paint and jumped, and then had to twist around and try and find an open guy to make a pass. This was another game I think that Miami could have won. Nobody on Denver really stood out in this game. It was just a good game for them. But Miami, I think, fell back to what they were, and Denver never flailed in what they were, which is the superior team. And even they were down in the second quarter, going into halftime. I thought they were dead in the water, right? Their energy looked low. They looked like they didn't have it. They came out in that third quarter, and it was like a violently different team. They got that lead back super fast. And it seemed like they had kind of gotten maybe their asses handed to them a bit in the locker room. But they were obviously the better team. They should have won. They should have won based on, the entire regular season, this entire series, the entire playoffs run. It was wishful thinking that Miami might have had a chance here, but there was really never hope for them in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you guys where it just like you were saying, Joey, there was no hope, but it felt like there was moments where you thought Miami could maybe steal this, and you're like, how is this really going to happen? Are the Nuggets kind of going to blow this? Even if you said that third quarter they kind of come back, they re-secure the lead, but they still weren't in complete control, into the fourth quarter. Like you said, Joey, you were questioning whether or not Jimmy was going to shoot, and then almost like he heard your text, he took over, rattled off 12 straight points, got Miami right into it, almost brought him all the way back. The desperation three Chris mentioned, just not a very good shot, and then that terrible turnover where he passed it to KCP, who had 2 steals and 3 blocks. So
that was just one turnover of the game too.
Not the right time to have it.
Yeah, he did nothing all game, and then he chose to do too much at the wrong time. And I mean, he did the right stuff for 3 in a row, and then he just.
Yeah, he finished with 21. He had 8 points there in the fourth quarter before he kind of went off. Bam finished with 20, like Chris was saying. Lowry had 12, so big points from him and big minutes off the bench for Lowry. Jokic 28 and 6 or 16 and 4. So no triple doubles tonight for anybody. Murray didn't have it either with 14, 8 and 8. Broke his streak of 10 assist games in the finals.
That's too bad.
Yeah, too bad there.
Sure, he's gonna be bummed out about that. Yeah.
And it looks like
from Denver, the discipline from Gordon and Jokic, right? Both had 2 fouls in the first quarter.
Yeah,
we saw a few minutes of DeAndre Jordan in there, gets a little claim, but
He had some nice minutes.
Get a block.
he
Yeah,
did.
block.
But I mean, the discipline for them to not get into deeper foul trouble, right? Because that could have been in this game where Miami was hanging around. It was going to be trouble. I feel like if they did get into deep foul trouble. I mean, Jokic ended with 3 fouls and Gordon had 4. I mean, that's pretty impressive having 2
Yeah.
with 4 or 5 minutes left of the first quarter on each of them. And Jimmy was driving, and this was a fun game. The refs really swallowed their whistle, I think, on a lot of plays.
Yeah, towards the end.
They let them play pretty physical. Jokic and Bam got into it a few times, which was kind of fun to see. But yeah, this was kind of chaotic basketball tonight.
It definitely was. I mean, it was weird because I was going to say, like, I couldn't tell if the refs were swallowing the whistle or not. I mean, early in the game, it felt like Denver was getting called for everything. But then that second half, it just felt like you could do almost whatever you wanted to do. There was that tussle with Bam and Jokic under the basket there in the fourth quarter, late in the fourth quarter. And you could just, like, they're not going to call anything on that. They're just going to, like, let these guys play. It was crazy. Chris, what did you think of the refs, the whistle, the calls?
I thought the refs were pretty heavy into this game early on. I mean, especially the first 2 possessions actually, this isn't the refs. This is more the Nuggets just turning the ball over and then getting an offensive foul to start the game. But there was stuff like that, and it felt like Miami was going to get this game because of the refs for a while there. But then it didn't. And then the second half kind of switched. And I think I can see why Joey's kind of more of the hey, the refs were fine. It's like, yeah, because like in the second half it was kind of they didn't really do much, and they kind of let them play this mud wrestling kind of game here.
Pig fight.
And you thought that would have really benefited Miami, but in the end, Denver came out on top.
They had no 3-point shooter. I mean, like Lowry did fine, but they didn't have that second guy. Caleb Martin, I thought was looking really good.
Yeah.
Then I look at the box score; he's finished with 10 points, 5 rebounds. But he had a plus 13, but like still, it was like kind of what, like
Yeah, you just think a low scoring game like this that would favor Miami.
Yeah.
Like it's weird, but like you said, they regressed to what they were in the regular season, not able to win close games, not able to get contributions from everybody at the same time. But I mean, no surprises. Jokic MVP.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that was. You just announced that there. Jokic MVP.
What was the? What do you guys have? Biggest surprise from this series, or biggest unexpected moment?
Unexpected. Ooh.
Well, this is. I mean, after game 2, I called this as a sweep for the. So I just want to call that out there right now. I am a genius. No, because I've been wrong about so much lately. I'm kind of happy.
You said 5 or 6.
But, I said 5. No. When you called me for that 6, like, hang on.
You did.
But no, yeah. So no surprises for me. The only surprises was Jimmy at the end there. I was kind of disappointed with that launch of a 3-pointer and his turnover.
Yeah. I don't know if I have a specific surprise other than maybe just how good Jokic and Murray were in those first 4 games. I mean, obviously they had solid games tonight, but it wasn't anything crazy. I mean, the first teammates to ever have 30-point triple doubles. Murray going for the first guy to start 4 finals appearances with 10 assists. Like they're putting up some really historic numbers there in those first 4 games, and that was. I mean, I know those guys were good, but I didn't think they were going to be historically good to start this finals out. So that was probably the biggest surprise for me. And then maybe for an individual surprise, this game is Michael Porter Jr. kind of having a decent game with 16, 13, and 3. So, 13 boards. He was active on the glass, 16 points. He hit a 3 there that felt like the whole building took a breath.
That felt like the game, even though it made it 89, 86. It felt like, oh, it's over.
Yeah, that was the one. When he hit the 3, it was kind of like, I think they're going to get this. And it was just, I don't know exactly when that happened, but it was those last couple of minutes. He hits that 3, and it gave him enough breathing room. And he even turned and looked at the crowd for a second and was just like, all right, got one.
Yeah, the arms went to the sky, and it was like, wait a second, can I do this now? I think my biggest surprise was the I don't want to call it like a downturn, but like Jimmy's play, I think, for the entire series was not Which expect, and you kind of think about it too, like going back to their series, like he had good games mixed in, but you wouldn't say that he had, a great playoffs.
Yeah.
He's getting the credit, but they beat Boston. They didn't beat Boston on Jimmy's shoulders. They beat Boston on
Yeah.
Boston being down 3-0 and then the team just being better. I was surprised too a little bit by Chris called it out, but Bam's play in the first half. God, he looks so good.
Yeah.
And then they just went away from it, which is just weird because it's not a thing that Spoelstra usually does. I think, he would look at this game plan and see that it was working and kind of go after it. And
yeah, Spoelstra really was kind of pulling the strings, I felt, a lot in the series, even though they weren't, like really competitive as far as winning the games, But I felt like in this game in particular, there were some things not that a specific that I can even really remember to bring up as far as like a question, but just like, not going to Tyler Hero at any point, how much Lowry was, kind of getting minutes. Yeah, he was playing great, but, not giving a guy that was maybe more of a shooter or more of a playmaker to kind of help them out, and kind of just sticking with Lowry. I mean, he made some great defensive plays and just got his, like that one where he tipped that ball from Gordon. That's just a veteran play, headsy play, but I don't know.
I think it's a good call because it was a moment. I think it was right at the end of the first half. They put in Highsmith, for like the 3 minutes, and it seemed like kind of a perfect moment to toss Hero in there and say, "Hey, get up, 1 or 2 shots." At that point, they were up like 7 or 8, and it was like, "Hey, get in there, see if you got anything. If it's working, maybe we give this some run. If not, then so be it. We're up 7, and we can live without you." But yeah, I don't know. Like Max Strus was not playing all that well. I mean, he was cutting, he was being aggressive, but he wasn't shooting. Like, there was definitely a moment where I think there was a definite moment to put in someone like Tyler Hero.
Yeah, and I think that was the big kind of thing that came out about his availability tonight. He's available to go. We were talking about it in our group chat before the game started. So to not ever go to him in a must-win game, I don't know.
Yeah, why make him available in a must-win game if you're not going to actually have him be available? It seems.
And I don't know. I think Hero's the kind of guy that wouldn't be afraid of that kind of moment either. If there was like hey, you haven't played in like Hero's going to be ready to go.
That dude would have ripped off 5 shots in 30 seconds if you would let him, right? Like if they got 5 steals in a row, he would have shot that ball every time. I feel like we're talking too much about the Heat, though.
Yeah,
like losing this, but I feel like maybe is that just a product of Denver? Like they don't wow you, right? But they win with like very solid, fundamental, consistent basketball. Like when they move the ball and when Jokic and Murray are in their little 2-man game, it's hard to stop.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. We asked the question, I think, like before the series started, who was the better team, and I tried to say Miami, and I'm changing that.
Yeah.
Denver is certainly the better team.
Denver's, I mean, they showed it that they were, a great team tonight. I think maybe kind of the reason why we're focused here on Miami is just it didn't really feel like Denver came out and won this one, to be honest. I mean, it kind of felt like they hung on. I felt like they were really tight. I mean, the missed free throws, like you said, 10 missed free throws is pretty wild. Like this really should have been a comfortable win, especially with kind of how bad Miami played. But I think that's kind of the sign of a really good team, that even when you're playing bad and you're not playing your best, you can hold that other team down, which they really did. I think the defensive play of Denver really kind of messed with Miami's flow tonight and got them out of their rhythm. But it just feels like they hung on enough. They did enough to win the game. Which is,
I think it's the absolute sign of a good team when they win ugly games. Like you didn't have to have perfection from these guys, and they were able to win.
Because that's the wild thing too. As much as this was kind of a back and forth finish, I just kept feeling like, all right, Denver's just going to get this at some point. Like they're going to do enough. I was waiting for Jamal to kind of have his run where he hits back-to-back threes or something, just kind of ice it. Ended up being, Michael Porter Jr. But that was kind of what I was feeling was coming. And, it just kind of felt that way. I think we're trying to hit
Murray, first duo in NBA history to average 25 points a game, 5 rebounds a game, and 5 assists per game in a single playoff. That's wild.
I mean, they really did have a historic run here with those two.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
The dude didn't play last season either. It's wild.
Yeah.
Wild. All right. Next season, way too early. Way too early thought.
Just about to do that.
Can Denver run it back?
I think they're going to be the odds-on favorite coming into the season. I think they should be, because there's really not going to be much change as far as their team goes. If we're doing a way too early predictions, I think we get Bucks Nuggets next season. I think we get it.
We need to have Bucks Nuggets.
We need to have Bucks Nuggets
to just find that clip and just have it as the sound drop that we just hit repetitively.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I think they're got to be the odds-on favorites. I don't know a ton about their contract situations, but I haven't heard anything about them really.
I think Bruce Brown is the only guy that's up for a free agency, and all the rumors that he's going to sign. He just could possibly go get more money if he signs somewhere else. So he's a guy they could lose. And
if they lose him, I think they can find another 10 points off the bench. I mean, they had guys that came in and did it for him when Bruce Brown wasn't it. So the other Brown.
So that was the trade they made too, is for some low end draft picks, and people were saying for cheap contracts. So they're trying to find guys like Christian Brown to help them come back next year. Yeah, imagine that, being a rookie going to the finals.
Is this the end of Miami's kind of run, or are they going to kind of be hanging around?
I think they're going to be hanging around. Maybe. I mean, we said that this year when they were, didn't look sharp and kind of can't, limped into the playoffs. But here they were the number 1 seed last year. They made the finals this year. The Eastern Conference, I think, is going to be a little bit of a mess next year.
Because in a competitive mess, or
mess, yeah. I don't think there's going to be a definitive favorite, because I think Milwaukee's getting old. As far as the guys they got, Middleton, what's he going to be next year? I think, but they still have Giannis, so there's always that.
Yep.
The Celtics are a question mark now. I mean,
right? They've had Brown even stay.
Yeah, does Jalen stay? What's that team going to look like? I know Grant Williams is on the potential to be moved. Marcus Smart, same thing. Some guys might be out. Philly, I have no trust in. So,
and Harden might leave.
Yeah, and Harden might be gone. And then Miami, so and then all right. So Cleveland are they next up? I don't think you have a team in the Eastern Conference that is your for sure team right now. So
I have a team that's a for sure.
Here we go.
No, they're just in the Eastern Conference. So
they are for sure in the Eastern Conference. Yes,
they are for sure in the Eastern Conference. Sick hats though for the champions ties. You should get one. I think that's a tight.
Yeah, those look good.
It's a dope hat.
Yes. Oh, that is nice. I'm looking at it now.
Well, that was a good season. That was a good game. That was a good finals.
Yeah, it was a great finals. I really had fun watching it. I wasn't sure how that was going to be, without the big markets that everybody was complaining about. But great finals, great performances from both teams.
This is kind of one of my more favorite playoffs, I think, in a while. I think the Miami run was really
it
was
really
fun to watch. It was exciting to watch a team that came out of the play-in and managed to do it. It was good.
It was fun. It was very chaotic playoffs. You had
it was.
LA going to the conference finals. Oh man, what a run! But
and I mean, yeah, it's a good point. You think about the Lakers coming into the playoffs, they were playing, they were there,
they were there. They had a knocking on the door.
That's wild. The NBA
is a hell of a league, man.
It's a hell of a league.
All right. Well, I don't. Yeah, I don't
lost
know.
Chris. So
yeah, so we don't.
I think I've said enough.
I've said enough too, Chris. Not sure what's going on, but hope everything's all right, man. And I think so. I don't know. We'll talk a little schedule here. We'll probably talk when we get off the air, but I think we'll probably take a week or two off here, reset, and start coming back with our 100th episode.
Come
Actually,
back with our 100th episode. That's right.
so
We got some off-season stuff coming up too.
Yep, off-season stuff in the mix.
We'll
I got some. I think I'm gonna finally do it this year, guys. Off-season.
You're gonna do the MJ LeBron breakdown.
Yep, the case against Jordan, baby. That's my off-season project.
Jordan.
So here's my idea for it. I want to do it as almost as a true crime style podcast. That's why I'm calling it the case against Jordan. And I might be multiple parts. I'm kind of outlining it right now, doing my research. So
can't wait.
It should
if
be
you
fun.
Need a narrator, I will.
Yeah, we need
the script. We'll need
and then there was the Michael Jordan in the '97. I've already found some interesting stats. So
this is great.
Oh, look at he's back.
He's back just in time as we're wrapping it up.
Great. Awesome job, guys. Really appreciate it. Awesome analysis. Great year. Weird into the finals. We may well get more deep dive into that. I don't know about later this week or next week, but yeah.
Yeah, we're just talking about that. We'll talk about off air, but we might take a week or two off. We'll see. So come back with 100th episode. Well, all right. Until you hear us next time.
Season 3 in the books, boys.
Season 3 in the books. For Joey and Chris, I'm Titus. Until next time, box out.